This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
All right, everybody, swim on in. Line up. Come in, wipe your feet because there's a lot of rain outside. It is a wet morning here in Music City, but we're happy that you're with us. Coffee, Country, and Cody. I'm Kelly Sutton. Charlie Mattos, Annie Nye, Jeff Roberts is upstairs, and we are holding down the fort amidst the rain. We have had some really heavy downpours this morning, so that was an interesting drive-in.
Yes, but just to the north of us, because we're on the rain line of this, because we're about 37, 38 degrees, where it's about 5 degrees colder. Everybody's getting snow, like Cincinnati and Evansville.
My dad in Hanover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might have to get Gene to call in and give us an update on what's happening in the weather up there. He said we could get 3 to 5 inches tomorrow, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, so we're just going to get rain.
We'll take the rain. We will take the rain. Well, we're happy that you're here with us. We've got a great Tuesday plan coming up in just a little bit. T. Graham Brown going to come in and visit with us.
He is playing Chiefs downtown.
Yes, he
of course,
is.
has that great new album From Memphis to Muscle Shoals.
You know, I listened to that. One day I put it on in the car and I just listened to it from front all the way to back, and it is just so good. Those songs and hearing the soul come through and all the people that are collaborators with him on that album.
I'm going to suggest Mustang Sally, because I love when he does that on the Opry stage, and he goes back and hangs with the background singers and sings back there with them. It's just so cool. Great
Randy
record.
Houser and Sammy Hagar and Sam Moore, Tanya Tucker, all these people, famous people, just joining T on that album, and he's going to be at Chiefs, so we'll talk more about that. We also have a lot to get to in entertainment headlines. I am giving you some alternatives for Valentine's Day because I'm a giver like that. So if you're not into like the roses, or you don't want to do the candy, maybe going out to eat is a little we have some alternatives for you. Something a little different, I think. And we're going to do a taste test. We have no idea what these are. Charlie found them at the store. He sent us pictures yesterday. Have you ever had these? They are small. They look like a cherry tomato. They are the color of a persimmon. They were near the cherries.
They are Sunbell golden berries, the natural treat, tangy, tropical, and sweet. Produce of Colombia. Maybe this is Colombia's number 2 export to the United States.
You know what the number 1 is. Okay, so we'll taste these and we'll let you know. Is it tangy? Like, I think it's like a cherry tomato. It might be like just a cherry. We're not sure.
We're going to find out.
Who knows? Put it to the test. It's all happening here. Well, this morning, let's talk about entertainment headlines. We got a lot happening on tap for us. And there's one thing that's going on that we didn't get a chance to mention. It's actually happening tonight, and I believe it's already sold out. But we just want to give a nod to all of our friends who are going to be paying tribute to Daryl Singletary. It's going to be at the Nashville Palace. It's tonight. And listen to the lineup. You've got Jamie Johnson and Rhett Akins, Tyler Farr, Ricochet, Dylan Marlowe, Dallas Davidson. They're all coming together to remember our friend Daryl Singletary. This is the 7th year they've done this.
Yeah. 7-year anniversary of his passing is tomorrow.
Is it really?
7 years, back in 2018. Does not seem that long ago.
It doesn't, but I'm so thankful that everyone is keeping his memory alive.
Oh, and my favorite memory of Daryl Singletary is he busted me so bad one morning. And it was right around this time. The National Wild Turkey Federation was at the hotel.
Yeah.
And we see Daryl waving outside our studio window at the hotel, and Bill's like, "Hey, there's Daryl Singletary." I'm like, "Hey, bud, you here for the Turkey Federation?" He goes, "No, I'm here to be on your show." And I thought he was joking. So Bill said, "Well, come on, have a seat." And like, literally, I'm like, did I forget something? He goes, "Hey, listen, I got a sheet of paper here. Says I'm supposed to be here at 8:15 on this day." And I'm like, oh yeah. That's why I don't like to book people through texts, because then I forget to add them to the guest list. So
right.
He did not let me live that down for a long time.
Oh gosh, that is so great. Well, that's happening tonight at the Nashville Palace. You know what happened over the weekend, and we just it slipped by because it happened on a Friday and we didn't really get to talk about it on Monday. The Critics' Choice Awards. They took place. They were hosted by Chelsea Handler. It was on E! And just a few of the winners, in case you were wondering. Best Picture was Anora. Haven't seen it. Best Actor, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Best Actress was Demi Moore for The Substance, which I've heard is terrifying.
Yes.
I don't think I want to see that.
Your former neighbor Don Schlitz said they watched it and thought it was fantastic, but very disturbing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's a hard pass for me. Best Supporting Actor was Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Best Supporting Actress was Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. And I'm trying to see. Best Director was John Chu for Wicked.
Oh, finally!
We're like, finally,
I saw one.
One of the ones that we've seen. Yeah, so it was another one of those. Everybody got together and they gave each other awards. But just because we missed it, I want to make sure we didn't let it go by.
It is interesting, the list of movies you see depending on the age of your child. Like we're well up to date on Sonic, all the animated things we know really well.
You know what I haven't seen though, and I'm a little sad. Moana 2.
We have not seen. Jackson saw that, I think, with Gigi, his grandmother, but
Okay.
We have not seen that one.
That's a great grandma movie to go see.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
I think that's great. All right. We've got Valentine's Day coming up, and we're trying to take care of you. We're trying to make sure that you have a great Valentine's Day. The options on the table include going to the Grand Ole Opry because there's a show that night, and it's with duets. All of our favorite duets will be performing. It's also kind of like an unofficial kickoff for our friends, The War and Treaty, because their album Plus One comes out on Friday. Another option, Texas Roadhouse rolls. You don't get them a bouquet of flowers. You walk in with a bouquet of rolls. And I mean, it looks nice. They put them on skewers. They wrap them in paper. Look at that. $4.99. Who doesn't want some carbs and some of that butter that goes along with it? I mean, to me, that's a win-win.
It's the ultimate edible arrangement.
Truly.
The carb.
Yes.
Never mind that fruit. I want carbs.
Annie, would you want someone to give you this? Oh, you're gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
Oh.
So it'd be a real shame if they did. But
You would have to pretend like you were really happy about it.
I guess, or you don't.
Or
know
just
me.
insulted that they don't know that
Right.
I'm gluten-free and how dare you give me this as a
Because
gift.
the cinnamon butter is unruly, and I would be really upset if it
Yeah.
was just kind of shoved in my face like that.
Oh, here you go. Here's a roll of a whole dozen rolls. You can't eat them. Sorry.
Yeah, that's how it would be.
Okay. Noted. I am not gluten-free. I would take those in a heartbeat.
I'm just a fan of the carb in all of its form.
Yeah. So that's just one of the things that you could do. The other one that I just found, White Castle's back. They do it every year. I mean, they're not good. They haven't been
go?
gone.
Okay. That's what I was confused.
Shouldn't have
All right.
said that White Castle's back.
What do they do?
But they're back on Valentine's Day. But they do like a special menu, and they do like tablecloths in their places.
Oh, okay. They spruce it up a little bit.
I don't know if you can do an actual reservation. I think you can. I think you can go online at White Castle and do like a reservation, but they have a whole little tablescape. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm just trying to give you guys different ideas.
That's
Shooting
a good
out
one.
of there.
I think my dad, I hope he's listening because my mom would like that one.
She would.
Really?
Yeah, my mom loves a White Castle burger for some reason.
That's not to love, and that's a fun night out.
Yeah.
you
We did
know?
not have White Castle or Crystal in Rhode Island.
Oh, really?
So I never had them till I came down south.
Really? So there's a place in Madison, Indiana. I grew up in Hanover, Indiana, which is pretty small. The bigger town that's next door, which is still small, is Madison, Indiana. But there is a very famous place in downtown Madison called Hinkle's, and they have Hinkle burgers. And they are just like White Castle, basically, because
Right.
they're the small ones,
Yep.
but they're the smashed. Hinkle burger, 100% way to my heart. I haven't had one in probably 20 years, but I would eat
I
one.
bet you Hinkleberger would freeze dry and send us some burgers.
Maybe.
So
It's a treat.
In Providence, the place to go was Haven Brothers.
Okay.
And the beauty of Haven Brothers was it was a food truck like decades before food trucks even existed, right?
that's cool.
And it was in an old Airstream, so it was silver. And the thing is, you had to find them because they were in a different location every night.
Oh, that's fun.
So, yeah, but it was like the perfect 2
Forget it.
a.m. hang on a
That's
Friday night.
perfect.
So, and they had great hot dogs, too. Yeah, Haven
Ooh.
Brothers.
Okay. If you're looking for hot dog places, we have I Dream of Weenie, which is here in town.
Yeah, I like...
Daddy's Dogs
Daddy's
is my
Dogs.
favorite.
What's the one on West End near where the Harvey Washbangers used to be? You know what I'm talking about, near Centennial Park.
A hot dog place?
Yeah, it's a hot dog place.
Oh, I don't
it's
know that one.
hang on.
All right,
not
you look
sure.
at that. We're going to have our taste test since we're talking about food. I feel like this is important.
And since the Super Bowl was just in New Orleans, Dat Dog, if you're ever in New Orleans. My favorite of all the hot dog places.
Dat Dog?
Dat Dog.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to, let me get my photo out to
Now,
tell people
for
what
everybody
we're eating here.
who was wondering, we got these because you saw them.
Right. I was out of grapes and cherries
Yeah.
and went to Sprouts yesterday, and this little package, Sunbell Golden Berries, the natural treat, tangy, tropical, and sweet, a produce of Colombia.
There we go. Okay.
Was right next to the cherries, and I thought I've never heard of these.
But we don't know if they are going to be like a fruit, like a cherry, or if it's going to be like a cherry tomato.
Right, and I've washed them. I think they're naturally sticky because
Yeah,
I've washed
the
them and
top
they're
is
still a
sticky.
little sticky.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
here we go. Ready?
Ready, one,
I don't
two.
know if there's a pit in them, by the way, so
Okay.
bite carefully. Ooh.
Or seeds.
Oh, that is.
Seeds. Ew.
Oh, it's the tangy
Ew,
part.
ew, ew.
Boy, they nailed
Oh, wait a
it.
minute.
They nailed the tangy part.
Okay, it's getting better.
No.
Once you
it's
get
not.
past the
It kind of is tomatoey.
Wow, it's real tangy. Like there's a. It's in the back of your throat.
pardon me,
kind of
I'm
tangy.
gonna wash this down.
It,
Oh, okay. Coffee was not the thing to wash it down with.
Okay. This has gone wrong.
Oh, what is going
This
on?
has gone
I
terribly,
don't
terribly
like
wrong.
Okay. Ooh.
I don't like it.
All right.
No,
All right.
that is
It's a no from me.
All right. Apologies
That
to
is
all
the
our friends in
strangest-
Bogota this morning.
that
but
is
that
the
was not.
strangest flavor of anything.
Yeah.
It's weird because
It has waves of okay,
Like, my
and then it
eyes
kind
are-
of kicks back into bad
I
again.
think that's your body fighting off of that taste. Like,
my eyes are watering right now.
All right, Jeff Roberts, Master
He
Control.
gave it a thumbs down.
Yeah, nobody
He gave
liked
it a
Okay,
thumbs
0
down.
for 4. I have a whole
Okay.
package of these now.
it's like it tastes like an old candy.
All right.
Like
Okay, to all the staff members who ate my
Yeah.
Post Malone Oreos yesterday, I'm going to leave these. You got to eat one of these
Yes,
tonight too as
that's right.
penance for the Post Malone Oreos.
So very, very tangy. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but it
Right.
also wasn't anything that I want to do again.
I get the sense
so,
it's good for you.
You know what? Let's make that into moonshine and see what that tastes like.
Where's Killer Bees?
There's Killer
Yeah,
Bees.
Killer Bees.
There you go. Your sun, whatever they are.
Goldenberry
moonshine.
Moonshine.
Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
He came in, swam all the way over this morning, and happy that he did so. Good morning to you, T. Graham Brown.
Doing the butterfly.
Is that what it
Oh,
is? That was
yes.
the stroke you were
Yes.
swimming?
Oh, that's breaststroke. Wait, which is the butterfly? How do you do the
big one.
Oh, that's
That's
this
the-
one. Oh, yeah.
the
Okay.
big one.
Oh,
You
that's
gotta have
that
some-
fancy one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The breaststroke looks like
Frogs?
whack-a-mole.
Oh, that's
like
true.
every time they pop up.
That
And
is
the
true.
backstroke just looks too easy.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's just floating
Yeah.
fast.
breast, breaststroke.
We're glad you
It
got
sure
in.
is good to be here, y'all.
You have come
on
bearing
in.
many gifts this
Yes.
morning.
Oh, I'm like Santa Claus. I'm Santee.
Well, first off,
Santee
Oh, look at
Claus.
that.
Yes.
and by the way, in the Tony poll, the University of Georgia Bulldogs are number one.
okay.
Well, my
In the
husband would
In
agree.
the Tony Brown poll.
My husband would agree with
So
that.
we have cookies,
Yes.
homemade chocolate chip cookies.
Love that.
And
Sheila
then
always does that.
Sheila Brown, you know, Sheila Brown was up to all hours of the night.
I know.
Making y'all cookies.
I
Look at
keep
that.
telling her she doesn't have to do that for you to get booked on the show. I mean, it is nice and we love it, but it isn't prerequisite.
No, but you get booked more.
Yeah, that's true. That's,
It's
I
not
know.
a prerequisite,
No.
but and the new record from
Look at
Memphis to
this.
Muscle Shoals,
From Memphis to Muscle
now
Shoals.
on vinyl.
Now on vinyl, and Charlie is displaying his copy right
That
there.
is gorgeous.
So if you're watching us, you can maybe see it right
So
there.
the inside, the actual vinyl, I opened mine already and I took a peek. It's gold. You got a
It's
gold
kind of like,
record
yeah,
in
it's
there.
supposed to be kind of a swirly-ish gold to match the cover.
I'm opening it. You can hear
It's
it.
not supposed to be like, like a gold record, gold.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a kind of a swirly-ish kind of. Has it got some swirly in
Look
there? It's
how
got a
pretty
little
that
bit of
is.
swirly in there.
That is beautiful. I love it. I love the fact that vinyl is back, and I'm so happy that you did this. You're going to be playing down at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
So have you seen the room yet? Have you been down there?
No, I
It's
looked at
gorgeous.
it online.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Well, the thing of it is I never do a show in Nashville.
right.
I mean, it's been years and years since I've done a 90-minute show. We've done CMA Fest
Right.
last year, and we're doing it again this year. But that's like a 30-minute show. But to do a show where I sit there and tell stories and sing and tell jokes and goof around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my friend Bart Walker playing acoustic guitar, so I'm just gonna be wandering the stage and having fun. So it's gonna be good. It's Thursday week. It's the 20th, Thursday the 20th
Yeah.
at 7:30 at Chiefs, and I just wanted to tell people it's not like you're going to be in a bar atmosphere seeing me. Apparently, and I haven't been there, and I bet you probably have.
I have, yeah.
Describe what it's like in
So
there.
it's really neat. The way that they have it set up, you'll be on this stage, and it's actually 2-tier. And on the second tier, they have seating like the Ryman. So it's like church pews.
And it's
up
quiet
there.
in there.
It's quiet, and everybody sits up there and they can look and watch you. And then on the floor, depending, they can either do a standing room or they can do some chair seating down there as well. But it is really cool because it's so multi-layered. I think there are 6 floors to it. So yeah, there's going to be raucous happening all around, but when they come in to see you, they know they're there for the show. So yeah, you can go party, on the first or second floor and then come up and see you.
Well, it's going
the
to be
church choir.
fun. I urge anybody that likes T. Graham Brown, come, because I'll be doing all the hits people expect to hear. I'll be doing some gospel songs, some R&B songs, goofing off.
That's the best part.
It'll be a nobody will leave disappointed. I promise you that.
I'm curious. So your first few albums, you were right on the cusp of when cassettes were still alive and well, but vinyl was starting to fade out, and everybody was buying CDs.
Yep.
So did that Tell It Like It Used to Be? Did that come out on vinyl, or was that a CD cassette release?
The I Tell It Like It Used to Be album was a vinyl.
Okay.
They later made cassettes.
Okay.
Cassettes hadn't happened yet.
Okay.
Really? Oh, I was a big fan of the cassette.
I don't think cassettes had happened yet.
I mean, there's nothing like when it gets stuck in the cassette player in your car and you pull it out and you got like 5 feet of spaghetti.
Somebody
you're trying
would have to
wind
Google,
back.
somebody would have to Google when cassettes came in
Okay.
for me to. I might be lying, but I don't think so. But I have been through. My career has spanned the vinyl,
Yeah.
cassette, CD, and streaming eras.
And now we're back to vinyl.
Now we're back to
We
vinyl.
come full circle.
There you
Right.
go, Charlie.
Yeah.
That's right.
So for people who aren't familiar with this album, you came in, you told us about it the first time, from Memphis to Muscle Shoals. So how did the brainchild come about? How did this all kind of work itself into fruition?
I grew up down in South Georgia listening to, in the 60s, I'm kind of a child of the, I was born in 54. I came of age, I guess, in the 60s and 70s. I listened to a little transistor radio in the 60s, had it glued to my ear, listening to AM radio. There was no such thing as FM back then. And I listened to Top 40, and I listened to a lot of soul music. And I've always wanted to do a soul music album. I like that 60s soul so much. So I finally was able to do one, like 50 years later. And I went down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and I cut 14 1960s soul hits that were either originally recorded in Memphis or originally recorded in Muscle Shoals. I went down to Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals, used all the Fame guys that are there. I was even able to get David Hood, the original Muscle Shoals rhythm section bass player, the last living swamper, played bass on everything. And a lot of people don't realize, Charlie, that I cut most of my hits in Muscle Shoals.
Yeah, I did not
Really?
realize that either.
Yeah, I cut. Yeah, I Tell It Like It Used to Be album. Well, I Tell It Like It Used to Be here, but everything else down there, the Brilliant Conversationalist and all that, I did down in Muscle Shoals. So I've been going there since '84. Is my point.
So this felt like going home.
Yeah.
It's like going home. I've been down there forever. So I got Dwight Yoakam and Winona and Tanya and Sammy Hagar and Randy Hauser, my Christian buddy Zach Williams, the late great Sam Moore, and I was so glad I got Sam
that's
on
so
a record of
huge.
mine
Yeah.
before he passed. Little Anthony from Little Anthony and the Imperials, Miss Betty Levette, great R&B singer, Delbert McClinton.
Delbert, yeah.
One of my all-time singing heroes, Delbert McClinton. I'm still get flustered when I'm around him.
Well, let's play it. And we are back with more of T. Graham Brown. He's going to be playing at Chiefs. It's coming up Thursday, February 20th. You can get your tickets. Go see him. He's going to be in the church choir, which is what they call the area. And they've got the really cool pews, and we were describing it. It is really a fantastic place if you want to go see live music downtown on Broadway. It isn't somebody singing and a bunch of drunk people hanging all over the place in the middle of a bar. It is a sit-down experience.
come on down, 'cause there's plenty enough brown to go around.
He said it. That's the best way to put it. And now the vinyl is out
I
too.
know.
We
Very,
got
very
Yay
excited.
for Memphis Muscle Shows, baby.
love this. We absolutely love
Yay,
this.
yay. Thank y'all.
What was the best part about seeing this come out on vinyl for you? I think there's something real
It
real
was just
about
great
it.
when they came in. And
It's tangible, you
Sheila
know?
surprised me, and said, "It's the first time I've had a vinyl record, man, and golly, since the '90s, since the early '90s."
Yeah, that's amazing. And you pick the color. I like the gold. It looks
Sheila
nice.
did all
Well,
that.
of course she did. I'm telling
So
Sheila.
pretty much everything
you
we
pick
like,
the
Sheila
color,
gets
it
credit
looks
for.
good.
Apparently, I like that. We just need to put 2 chairs up here.
I sang.
telling
I
you.
sang.
Yes.
Sheila did everything else.
By the way, did I see some tour dates that you and Lori Morgan are going to be doing on the road
man.
too? That's a great night of music.
That was fun too. We just did some last week. We did a couple. We went to Myrtle Beach, and then we went up to Ocean City, Maryland, and we had a blast. Big crowds, standing ovations. It was fun, big fun. So this guy that runs the place in Ocean City, Maryland, the Civic Center there. I did a interview on the radio promoting this show with this girl, April Brilliant was her name, on the radio.
Nice.
She said, "Have you ever been to Ocean City before?" I said, "Yeah." I bet it's been 30 years ago. I came up there. I remember coming with Kenny Rogers. So when I walked in the building, a guy came up to me and said, "You know what? Last time you were here was 35 years ago with Kenny Rogers, because I was here that night."
Are you kidding?
So I said it was that. I thought 30. He said 35. So
Okay. That's
so yeah. So we
fantastic.
had a good time.
That's amazing.
Lori's great. We compliment each other. Plus, we love each other so much. We go back to the Keith Whitley days.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
we got to do the Circle Room together. That was a special, right when the album came out. You were here at the Opry, and we got to hang out after. And it was a special event. If you got the album, then you got to come in. And I got to say, you are so good at just talking to people and being so real with your fans. And everyone that left that night felt like they had a very special moment with you. You're just really good at that, T. I hope you understand that.
Well, I just try to be myself.
I know. You were telling stories. We
I
had a
know,
good
man.
time that night.
I just make it up as I go. I don't know what I don't know what I'm gonna say. That's the bad thing about me is I'm never prepared.
But we kind of love
I
that.
mean,
Oh,
that
we're
can-
aware of that.
and
No,
can,
no.
that can be bad. That can be bad.
It can be great too.
Sheila knows I hate to rehearse. Boy, that's the last thing in the world I want to do is rehearse. And so,
Well, so that was in the Circle Room after an Opry show, right? And you have played the Opry more than 300 times, but for the last 9 months or so, your introduction has added Grand Ole Opry
yeah,
star T.
baby, and
Graham
it
Brown.
was so cool of you to say that the other night, Charlie. Man, hey, best thing that ever happened to Sheila and me. It's
Yeah.
a Grand Ole Opry membership, and I thank God every day when I say my prayers. Thanks for making us members of the Grand Ole Opry.
And
Now-
real quick, I'm sorry, for those who didn't see it, tell folks how Vince Gill surprised you with this invitation. Because the one thing the Opry can do is keep a secret. And they don't
yeah.
tell us anything. That's
We don't
probably
know.
why they keep a secret, because we would blab it. But
That's true.
but you had no clue it was coming.
No, man, I was doing my Sirius XM show down in the Batman building, and Vince was my guest, and they had set it up in advance. I didn't realize all this. Looking back, it was all a setup.
Right.
But Vince was my guest, and we had a live audience. They have a venue in there, live audience, and Vince had his guitar, and he'd sing, and we'd talk, and I'd sing, and we'd talk. So anyway, they said you got 30 minutes with Vince. He's got to be somewhere else. So I watched the clock, and as it got to be 33 minutes after, I said, "Well, Vince, I see it's time. You got to be somewhere else, and appreciate you coming in and all this." So I was ending up the interview, and he said, whoa, wait a minute. He said, "How many times have you done a Grand Ole Opry?" And I told him. He said, "Well, this whole thing has been a setup. They sent me over here to ask you if you'd like to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry." Man, I started crying like a baby. It was. And what was crazy, we were sitting in the green room before the interview, and I said, "Vince, if I ever get asked to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry, will you be the guy that inducts me?" And I asked him that
Oh my
before we
gosh.
even went in there.
I bet he thought the jig's up. He knows.
I think he
knows.
did, but then he saw that my reaction. He knew it couldn't have been.
Oh, that's good.
And I asked him the other night at the Opry. I said, you didn't really think that I knew in advance, did you? He said, no, I could tell.
That's so
I could
perfect.
tell by the way you're acting.
Well,
you
we
were my-
didn't haze you, so we're going to haze you this morning.
All right. Well,
Oh,
this
that's
is
right.
part of the
Okay.
initiation.
So we did a
If-
taste
so
test
what
on
is
these.
this called?
These are Sunbell Golden Berries,
Yeah.
the natural treat, tangy, tropical, and sweet, a product of Colombia.
We thought they look like cherry tomatoes. They look like a cross
They do
between a
look like
cherry
cherry
tomato
tomato.
and a persimmon.
Yeah.
All
Have they
right.
got any seeds in
And they,
them?
no seed. Well, no, I don't think so. And they were right next to the cherries at Sprouts.
What do you think?
Tangy, tropical, and sweet.
First reactions. Be honest.
Well, no. It kind of tastes like a nectarine.
You think? Oh, it does have that citrus kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I
the
get.
tropical part.
I get
It's
nectarine.
real tangy.
I get nectarine from the texture of it too.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. Okay.
Oh, good. Well, we'll send them home with
there's-
you. Thank you for
there's one
coming
more
in this
for you
morning.
then. I
that's
don't think
yours.
anybody's going to want that. You can have them.
These are your prizes for coming. You bring us cookies, and we give you some weird
right.
fruit that
That's
Charlie
right.
found.
No,
in the
man. No, I'll give it a nectarine.
Okay, that's actually kind of spot on. Yeah, the citrus part.
What
of it,
did
for
you
sure.
all say?
This is like losing on
We didn't
Fandango.
like
We send
it
you home
very
with bad
much.
fruit.
Losing on Fandango.
We were
People
not-
don't even know what Fandango is.
We didn't love them. It
No,
was
we didn't
interesting.
care for them. It is too. It
little
started
different.
off a little bitter and then tangy, and then for about a second or two, I was like, "Oh, it's getting good," and then it stopped getting good. No one, we did not care for them very much.
I just hope no one ever does like a music description like that. It was tangy, and then it was. I thought it was getting good, and then it wasn't.
No,
So
I've actually heard many songs exactly with that feel. To be honest,
So Sheila, was I ever on Fandango?
Bill Anderson's game show. Bill Cody was on
I
Fandango.
think I
Okay.
was on
Yeah,
Fandango.
yeah.
Do y'all remember Doris the Cookie Lady?
no.
Do you remember? She beat me. She used to bring cookies to every
Listen.
Nashville Now show, every Nashville Network
They
show.
don't beat Sheila's
And then
cookies.
she was on there, Doris the Cookie Lady, and she won the trip to Jamaica or
Well,
whatever.
we
it was.
win because Sheila brings us cookies. So we're going to close with Sheila's favorite song off of the album, I'm Your Puppet with Dwight Yoakam. Go see our friend T. Graham Brown. He's going to be at Chiefs. It's February 20th. Thank you for coming in, friend.
Come to Chiefs, come to Chiefs. This song was written by the great Dan Penn and Spooner Oldham, and I have to say I've written songs with each of those men separately.
Say goodnight.
God is real. Good night.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Braving the weather to come in just to hang out with us. We feel real special this morning. Radney Foster, it's good to see you.
Good to be here.
You said 37, cold and rainy, man.
Yeah.
That's no fun
Lovely.
this morning.
Lovely weather we're having.
My first question, as soon as you said that, I said, growing up in Texas, did you ever see snow?
Like a couple of times.
Okay.
And but barely. You know, it stayed for a day or two. And but I remember what a big deal it was. I think I was 6 the first time it snowed.
Oh wow!
And so that was sort of magical. You know.
That's peak time.
Oh, yeah.
6-year-old
It was-
seeing snow.
And the weird thing was that my mother had bought, like 2 years before that, had bought a sled, an actual sled. Well, that's never going to get used.
Sure.
But it was so she could do like Christmas arrangements and stuff, you know, and all that kind of stuff on it. And so we all just said, we had a sled. And I'm like, all the kids in my neighborhood were like, they've actually got a thing that works. You know, it's like,
Well, this last snowfall that we saw, it was so cute because these kids are sliding down on trash can lids.
oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
You name it.
Boxes. My favorite were just blow up mattresses. They just blow
yeah.
them up and go sliding down anything you could find.
We
you
did
know?
one of those blue kids pools, which works for one trip down the hill.
It's a fun trip.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
one.
my kids growing up here, of course, saw lots of snow.
Yeah.
And my oldest was about 8, and we live in Cherokee Park, and there's a big hill around the corner from our house. And so, you know, we went, and it was late December, almost Christmas time, and we were going sledding just over and over and over and over again. And he was, trucking back up that hill, and he goes, "We're never moving."
Oh, that's awesome. When you've got that in the backyard, man, that's a win-win. Everybody comes to your house, just dry out for a few minutes, and then you go right back out into it. Yeah. Those are some fun times.
So we all know how big Texas is. I mean, it's
massive,
huge, right? So I just for the fun of it, I looked up Del Rio, Radney's hometown, to El Paso is 425 miles via 90 and then I-10. It would take you 6 hours and 18 minutes. Yeah. I grew up in Providence. Keep in mind, 425 miles Del Rio to El Paso. Okay. I grew up in Providence. Providence to Montreal, I would go through Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and finally get to Montreal and have 100 miles to spare.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, even Texans don't figure it out. Like they'll ask me I'll say I'm from Del Rio, and they go, "Oh, you're down in the valley." I said, "No, I'm about 400 miles from the valley." Oh, wow. And then they'll say, "Oh, well, you live up there by El Paso then." I said, "No, I'm about 400 miles from that too."
Well, that's just it. We were just talking. I said, I've been to Austin, I've been to Dallas, I've been to San Antonio and Waco and other places, but still I have seen a fraction of the state.
Well, Del Rio's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there.
Right.
That's great. That's great.
And interestingly enough, next Wednesday, I will be working a Grand Ole Opry show with another resident of Del Rio and a young kid that you've got to know really well, William Beckman. He's the real deal.
He's the real deal. I'm so proud of him, and I've known him since he was 15. I've known his family a long, long time. His parents built a home on the 10 acres that was behind my house that I was growing up. I grew up 2 doors down from the home that he grew up in.
Oh wow! What are the chances?
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
He just really, my best friend from we were diapered together. John Wardlaw was his social studies teacher, and he called me and said, "There's this kid, and you know his family," and he said, "But he really, you got to hear him." And so I went and I heard him play some songs. I was like, "You got something going on. You got to. Here's what you should figure out next, and here's what to do after that."
Did somebody do that for you?
No, yes and no. I mean, somebody did, but not really till I got to Nashville. I think one thing that happens to people move to a music town or seek an acting career or any of those kinds of things. You get one of two things that happen. You're just either so full of yourself that you're not willing to take no for an answer, and you're going no matter what. Which I was not. I was not that kid. I was terrified of it, But I was playing in bands and singing, and a guy in Nashville, Brown Bannister, who was Amy Grant's producer, met me and sat down and listened to about 5 or 6 songs. I was 20. And he said, "Man, you got to have a serious talk with your mom and daddy about doing this for a living." Wow. And so it was like I got permission,
That's
and I think
cool.
that sometimes that's it. I think I gave him permission. I think sometimes you need somebody to give you permission that, you can actually do this.
Was there not a rather famous conversation with your dad about
leaving
school and coming to Nashville?
I woke my mother and daddy up in the middle of the night, and after I had talked with Brown, and I waited. I was scared to tell him, so I waited till the end of summer. I was supposed to be back at college at Sewanee, like 5 days later. And I woke him up at 2:00 in the morning. I said, "Mom and Daddy, I think God wants me to drop out of college so I can be a singer and a songwriter." And my school teacher mother and my small town lawyer father both sat bolt upright in bed.
Oh no! Oh no!
My father made the longest sigh I've ever heard in my life and said, "Son, I've known God a long, long time, and I don't believe he wants any son of mine to drop out of college to be a singer and a songwriter. You heard wrong."
You better tune in a little closer, because I don't think that's what he was saying.
And but they negotiated, and I ended up taking a year off from college and coming here for that year between and then I had Turner. I thought I was going to be the next Elvis time I was 21, but it turned out I had to go back and finish school and struggle for about another 5 or 6, 7 years. So,
spoiler alert, it turns out okay.
Yeah, it does.
It turns out okay.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
We're visiting with our friend Radney Foster, talking about all things, including his big residency that he's doing down at Chiefs. It's going to be this Sunday. Special guest Logan Mack's going to be with
He's
you.
awesome. He's
Tell me
really,
about
really.
Logan.
He's a Dozier operator from Oklahoma.
Nice.
And just a hell of a songwriter. I mean, he really is just kind of exploded on the internet here recently, just putting up songs that he's been writing. He's in his early 30s, and I mean, he really reminds me of John Prine.
Where did you find him?
You know what? I got introduced to him by a really old friend in the music business, Todd Wilkes, who's a publisher, was one of my publishers along the way. He's who actually got Tanya Tucker and T. Graham Brown to cut Don't Go Out With Him.
Really?
That became a #1 record, yeah.
How about that? All comes back to T. Graham somehow.
There you go. But yeah, he come early. He's really, really good. I think he goes on at 7 and I go on like at 7:45 or something like that.
And we were talking about Chiefs off the air.
And hey, I know it's a
cool
Sunday
venue.
night, but it's such a cool place. And
It's church.
it's a listening room. It's like
Yes.
a little church. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And you know, it's an early enough show you can still go home and get to work the next morning.
We like those. We are big fans of those. If I can be in
I've
bed,
become more of a fan of those. It's like, you want me to go on
telling you.
when?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm saying, if you could do a 6 o'clock, we're happy about that. That's like prime time for us. Coming into town and getting to do a showcase like that in a place like that, it has to be interesting to see fans that have been fans for years, but then also people that are walking in that are seeing.
Oh yeah, there's
listening to
people
you for
go,
the
oh
first
wow,
time.
Radney Foster's playing. Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
see it.
Mhm.
There's still
Yeah.
tickets, sure.
That's the
You know,
coolest.
it's kind of neat. And you know, I mean, Broadway has become such a destination, and Nashville's always been a music destination for fans. You know, but it's just become such a destination that you see people from different countries and from, you know,
Oh, yeah.
you're like, why are these people from Milwaukee, Wisconsin here? And it's like, because they're country music fans, you know, and they just saw that I was playing. It's like, yeah, let's go see that show. You know,
That's so fun.
it's always neat to meet them. You know, it's like, and you're going to see folks from Nashville who, and it's kind of funny. They'll be like, I didn't think I was going to venture down to Broadway, you know, but it's like, they're like, oh, this is cool. It's a really cool place.
I got to tell you, the other night I was at the Old Dominion show. They were at the Ryman, and there were these two ladies that were behind us. And the Old Dominion, in the middle of it, they said, please welcome special guest Kenny Chesney. And everybody just loses their mind and stands up and screams. And these ladies are clapping. And then after he left, she tapped my friend on the shoulder. She said, what was that young man's name?
Wow.
And we were like, oh, well,
Okay.
that's Kenny Chesney.
That's Kenny Chesney. So
They were from
world renowned
Right.
Kenny Chesney.
They were from England. They
Had no
wandered
idea.
around. They saw people lined up, and they were like, "What's going on in here? Let's get some tickets and go in." And they left Old Dominion fans and Kenny Chesney fans. So
Well, there
that's
you
the
go.
beauty of it. That's
That's
the beauty
it.
of live
Yeah.
music everywhere in downtown.
You see it at the Opry sometimes too,
Yeah.
where people know it's a bucket list thing to do, but they don't exactly know what it is. Like they
Right.
know it's a show, but they don't
But
know
they
it's
don't
a
really
radio.
know that it's a radio show.
Yeah,
a
they
live
do.
radio.
They do
show.
commercials and all. It's
Yeah.
it's fascinating.
So cool. Well, you've had so many hits on your own, but then you've written a lot for a lot of other friends as
Oh,
well.
yeah. And I'll play a lot of everything. I'll play my own songs, but you know, I'll play songs that, you know, got picked up by other folks that.
What was your first cut from another person? Do you remember?
You know, my first cut from another person was the Newgrass Revival.
Okay.
And they did a song that actually became a hit for that dancing moon is on the water. Do you feel inclined romantically? If you do, I think you ought to love someone like me. That became a #1 hit for Holly Dunn. She and I wrote it together.
Wow.
And we were nobodies, you know. But the Newgrass had gotten signed to Capitol, and so they cut it, and we were just ecstatic, you know.
You're like, okay.
And then the second cut was Bill Lloyd and I got "Since I Found You" cut by Sweethearts of the Rodeo, and that was their first top 10 hit single. So all of a sudden, I went from, you know, nobody knows who this guy is who's from West Texas, who's traveling, wandering around the streets on Music Row. To he's like, who's this guy from?
Who's this songwriter? All of a sudden, you're the songwriter.
All of a sudden, you're really a songwriter. Yeah.
Well, and as much as I love Sarah Evans' version, and it was a big hit, I've always loved your version of the Real Fine Place to Start.
Oh,
that's a
you so
great
much.
song. You
Yeah.
and George Dukas, right?
Yeah, me and George Dukas wrote it. And it's so funny because I didn't think of it as a female song at all. And I was writing with Sarah for her next record, and she was going on about how much she loved my last record, and I realized she was talking about the one before my last record.
Okay.
So I literally dropped a CD off in her mailbox the next day, and then she called me 2 weeks later and said, "Has anybody done that first song on your Another Way to Go album?" And I said, "No, but you are."
Have at it. Well, since it's raining out here, would you do Raining on
Yes,
Sunday
I can.
for us?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good. It's Tuesday, but yeah, it's a good.
so Keith Urban cut this 2002?
Yes.
2002-ish?
And then I think 2003 or 4 it became a hit. Big old hit.
Big old hit.
Big old hit. And they were. It never went number one, but they were fighting for number one for like a month. So it sat at number 2 and 3 for like a month, just trying to get there, and that paycheck clears real good.
I was going to say. Also, sometimes it's almost better because if you would have said list 5 Keith Urban number ones, this for sure would have been one of them that I would have thought would have gone. Yeah.
Most people are always that way.
Of
it's
course.
like in hindsight, it's a number one in their head. That's fine with me.
And in your wallet, you're like, that's fine too. It's perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh man, my pleasure. Everybody,
see.
come out and have a good time with me at Chiefs. I promise.
And it's on Sunday. And hopefully it'll be raining so you can do the song again.
So, yeah, I'll do the
That'll
song again, whether it's raining or not.
You can find all the information at Chiefs. He's going to be there on Sunday. Radney Foster, thanks for coming.
Thanks so much. Yeah, absolutely. It's always great to get to see you guys.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Sure is. Welcome in. We are in studio this morning. Kelly Sutton, Charlie Mattos, Annie Nye, and Jeff Roberts. And we've been talking about entertainment headlines. So many cool things that are going on, including places that you need to look for Valentine's Day gifts. We've already got ours squared away. I got tickets to see Cody Johnson on Saturday night. Was it an industry event? Maybe. Am I taking my husband? Yes. So therefore it counts.
We will be at TPAC for Anne Juliet.
I think I've got tickets to that on
and
Sunday.
then dinner. I know we have such the same weekends sometimes.
Let me look. I need to I'm glad you told me because I would have totally forgotten, but I think I do have that. So that'll be fun.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you're working.
I'm working on Valentine's night, yes. Duo night at the Opry.
Which will be super fun.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you are still looking for the perfect gift, we have found it for you. It's now gone viral. No, it's not roses. No, it's not candy. It's carbs.
Yeah.
Every woman wants carbs, including a bouquet of rolls from Texas Roadhouse. This says I love you in a very special way. So not only do you get the rolls, but you get the butter. That cinnamon butter. Just make sure that your Valentine is not gluten-free. Sorry, Annie. It's okay. I know.
Whatever.
We'll find something else for you.
We'll have
I promise.
Andy's. I'll take hers.
We'll take hers.
Fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
But apparently this is a Texas Roadhouse thing. So if you're interested and you want to do something fun for Valentine's Day, check it out.
So, because they got them on little sticks.
Yeah,
So
they look nice.
I'm thinking you could take the Olive Garden breadstick as the stem and the Texas Roadhouse roll as the flower.
Wow. A
Oh.
collaboration.
And just have carbonation there. Yeah.
Wow. I really like where your head's
Thank
at.
you.
This
Thank
is
you.
really, really good. Okay, so just take that with a grain of salt or some butter, whatever. Shenandoah, new documentary. This is so cool. They've been working on some of their biggest hits. They've been redoing them. If you remember, they put out 2 Dozen Roses with our buddy Luke Combs. It went number 1. They were like, that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can do that again. Well, their song, Sunday in the South, seemed like it would be a good fit for Jason Aldean. They knew Jason was actually using it when he was warming up his shows. Then they find out Luke Bryan is also a big fan and plays it sometimes in his shows. So they jumped in, got them all together, and they've done a little mini documentary. Take a listen.
Having an opportunity of being invited to be a part of Luke Bryan's 30 #1 records. While there, I got the opportunity to chat with Jason for a little bit and, of course, chat with Luke. Anyway, while we were backstage, I'd mentioned to Jason, I said, man, look, we just cut a brand new track on Sunday in the South. And I recall several times people sending us videos of y'all doing Sunday in the South at some of your shows. And, man, it'd tickle us to death if y'all were to come in and render and be a part of this new cut we've got on it.
Marty had always been really complimentary and gracious of Jason and I back when we were touring years ago. We would, on our little satellite B stage, Jason and I, we would do this song.
We never really knew what we were going to play, but this was always one that I feel like we played every night.
Yeah.
And, as Instagram and all that stuff was kind of popping up, people were posting it.
Another southern Sunday in the South.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, if you want to watch the whole thing, you can find it on YouTube, but the song is out now. So I just love the fact that they were paying homage. And then, you know what? Marty was like, hey, let's make this a real thing. Let's put it together.
Render it, I believe, is
Render
what they
it.
were doing. If I
What'd he
want
say?
to quote Marty Raven.
It tickled me to death if y'all would come over and
render
render
this
it with us. So we're glad that they all got together and did just that.
Not only do I need closed captioning, I need like a translation for like New England. Like, what does he say?
I don't know what that meant, but I think it meant something good. Congratulations to one of our friends in Runaway June, Stevie Woodward. She is the lead singer, and she just got engaged. Look at these beautiful photos. This was in People on people.com. So Stevie announced the engagement to her boyfriend, Jordan Howell. And the trio, Runaway June, just dropped a romantic ode, To Be Yours. Perfect timing. Well done, y'all. I'm so happy for you. So, of course, big congrats to Stevie, but also Jennifer Wayne saying To Be Yours is just a beautiful love song and one of our favorite songs that we've ever written together. And then Natalie Stovall, friend of our show, said, I felt like it was just a gift from God, except it was a gift from Stevie. So Stevie was the one that was in love and felt it, and that's how their new song came to be. Okay, Joe Nichols, Justin Moore, they're heading out on tour together, y'all. This is the duo that you want to go see. Joe is going to be opening for Justin. They've got 7 dates already on the calendar. Starts June 5th in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I should know that. Stops with Louisville, Cedar Rapids, St. Louis, and then they wrap it all up June 28th in Omaha, Nebraska. So if you want to see both of them together, it's going to be good. And Justin had Tracy Lawrence out with him last year.
Yeah, so kind of a similar night of you're going to know every single song. I think Justin is up to 11 #1 songs now, too. So he could almost do a whole set list and never play something that isn't a #1.
Oh, wow. That's got to be a fun show, too. If you're starting to cut stuff, you're like, well, I've got too many #1s.
That's right.
I'm going to have to cut one of them out. Sorry, friends. Last but not least, let's talk Blake Shelton and Post Malone. They love each other. Everybody loves Post Malone, right? So Blake basically said, listen, I know a lot of people are just wondering, is he going to be the guy? Is he kind of a pseudo country dude? Well, that's not the case. In fact, here's what Blake had to say about Post Malone. He was saying he's so popular. People love him so much. I love him. And he's fun to be around. So that's how they got to be around each other, and they got to come up with their song, which now is out. Pour Me a Drink. And congratulations, speaking of Blake Shelton, Texas, his new single, went #1 in the UK.
Yeah, good song. Really good song.
I should have brought it in. They gave me a mini vinyl.
Oh.
It looks like almost a compact disc, but it's a vinyl. And I thought, that is really cool. I've never seen anything like that.
3
as
inches.
promo.
Yeah.
3 inch. So, yeah, congratulations to Blake Shelton. Hey, tonight we got an Opry show that's going to be happening here. I will be there with Scotty McCreery, Ashley McBride, Chris Jansen, Riders in the Sky, Henry Cho, Gabby Barrett, and the debut of Johnny Swim. And they're coming in to hang out with us tomorrow.
Yep, Amanda and Abner, looking forward to visiting with them. Big fans. And Ron Pope is stopping by as well. Got a brand new album. Drop in the Ocean is the song that you will definitely know. Platinum single about a decade ago. Many.
Like 15 million or
quite
something
a few.
crazy. Yeah, so he'll be here with us tomorrow. Thank you for being with us. Thank you again to Radney Foster, who was here with us, and T. Graham Brown. Both of them going to be playing separate dates at Chiefs. So you can find all that information, chiefs.com. We're leaving you with the new one from Ella Langley. This is Weren't From the Wind, and it's the follow-up to Excuse Me, You Look Like You love me. Thanks for listening, Coffee Country and Philly.
Wouldn't